Hey guys, welcome to JPT. I'm Carson G and this is Just Plain Tech. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the Google Chromebook and see if it's any good. We have hit our 15 subscriber goal, which means that Raspberry Pi PC build guide video is coming, guys. There is a little delay in the shipping, so it might take about a week, but trust me, it's coming. Anyway, so with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so here I am on my Chromebook. Let's check this thing out. So it seems to open Windows pretty quickly. Now this is a version of the Chromebook that does not have the ability to run Android apps or Linux apps. So it's just a regular old Chromebook. Alright. Let's try a game. There are actually quite a few good games you could get on here. I mean, they're mostly web apps. Still pretty fun to play. So yeah. Windows close out pretty quickly. Let's see how fast it opens Chrome. Wow. Okay. So that was pretty quick. Alright, let's see what this thing can do. Maybe other high-end Chromebooks might be able to do more than this one. Let's see. Metal is disabled, 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 disabled. So usually this is the best setup. Usually the way it is by default is the best. That's not always the case though. Basically, just make sure that anything having to do with Flash is enabled and that WebGL and WebGL2 are both enabled or hardware accelerated or whatever. So let's see. This is Chrome version 76. I think I'm on Linux. That's I have a Chromebook. Well, this is a Chromebook, but this is based off. Chromebook does run the Linux kernel, so that might explain it. Driver vendor Mesa. So it is active. Driver version 19. So looks like this Chromebook is running OpenGL ES 2.0 Mesa, which is pretty much the standard for today's low-end devices. That's pretty much the standard. So yeah. So it does have Gmail built in. That's easy for checking your email, which is pretty nice. As you would imagine, kind of with the same thing with Android, it will come with a lot of Google services built in. Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets. I removed a lot of the useless stuff that it comes with. A lot of the time it will come with like YouTube and all the other apps and stuff, but I kind of deleted all that. So the app store is called the Chrome Web Store. Alright. So Extensions and themes are only for, like, if you're using something else that's not a Chromebook, you can only use extensions and themes. But if you are using a Chromebook, you can get apps, which they could be Chrome apps or websites. All of these apps on here I can get. All of that. So, yeah. There's kind of a lot to choose from. Let's see what games there are. Now, most of these are going to be like web games, but for you gamers out there, we'll just see. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of, kind of like mobile games. Oh, yeah, that brings me to another thing. Oh, you can get Splunky on here. Alright. So let's do games, and we can go down here. Available for Android. Check that. And these are all those games that you can run on Android. So it can run some, even if it doesn't have like the Google Play Store built in, it can still run some Android stuff, as you can see. So yeah. So is the Chromebook a computer that I would really recommend for the average user? The answer is probably. If you're just good for, if all you need is web apps, then the Chromebook is probably the perfect thing for you. If everything you do is all within your web browser and you don't ever download any apps or anything like that, or you only download web apps, might be good. The Chromebook will be a very good fit for you, especially if you want something fast and lightweight. Now, it's also cheap too, so that's a good part. But if you buy a little more expensive model, you can get Android apps, and I think some of them have the ability to run Linux apps too, which I don't really approve of, but whatever. They can only run Debian apps, and then you have to install through I think it just gives you a Linux terminal, and you have to install the software store if you want to. You just use everything from the terminal, so it's probably not best for the average user. That's probably more of a developer option. But Android apps, if you use a lot of Android apps, then a Chromebook might also be a good option. I think you can run Windows apps because you guys know Wine for Linux. You can get that on Android too. So if you can get it on Android, you could probably get it on a Chromebook. So you can also run Windows apps. So I guess you can do that too, theoretically. But I would not recommend the Chromebook for everybody. I mean, I would recommend Linux for everybody because there are so many Linux distributions out there that somebody is almost destined to find one that fits their needs, and if they don't, they can make it themselves. So, yeah, there's that with Linux, but Chromebook, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for everyone. I would recommend it maybe for the average user who uses most of their things within a web browser. Because that's basically what the Chromebook is, basically just the Chrome web browser. But maybe if you're more of a developer out there who uses, a lot of programming tools or other stuff, it might not be the best fit for you. Gaming, if you're looking for gaming on the Chromebook, it's got some okay games. If it's got some okay games you could play on it, I would highly recommend getting one that would run Android if you want to run a ton of games on there. But for the most part, Chromebook and gaming don't go together too well. I would probably recommend Linux or Windows 7 or something like that for gaming. But, yeah. So, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos, and we'll see you next time.